Hi, and welcome back. Attorney Steve Vondran here. We are talking in this video about how to read a case, or in other words, how to brief a case if you're in law school, or even if you're a practicing lawyer. You probably already know this if you're a lawyer, but maybe you don't. Maybe you struggle with reading cases. At any rate, let's get into it. So I have up here pulled up a case this is the California courts. Believe this is just the California Appellate Court website. And I'm going to show you how I would tackle, just as a case, I have not read this. I don't even know what it's about, but I'm going to go over this, okay? So the first thing I do with a case, start right here at the top, okay? This says certified for publication. What does that mean? That means that you can cite it if you're filing like a motion for summary judgment or some sort of brief seeking relief from the court for this or that. You can cite the opinion. It's citable. It's case law. It's stare decisis. What you might see in a lot of other cases is not for publication. If it's not for publication, it really only has marginal value, and there's only really specific times that you can actually cite to a case. You have to check the rules of the court and ask, is it even citable? But say you're in law school, most of these are going to be certified for publication, but that's one thing I'm looking at. Number two, I'm looking, where is the case? In this particular instance, it's in the Court of Appeal for the state of California, so I know it's an appellate court case. That means the trial court's already gone on, it's already happened, the decision is done. Somebody didn't like it, and now it's up on appeal. So it's good to know that. Where's it at? Second Appellate District. If you don't know where that's at, go look. You may want to know. Why? There's a difference between here, Second Appellate District is LA, and you might have different decisions, whether it's from LA or from Orange County or from Northern California. You may have different types of opinions. And so there's all these different appellate districts in California. And I'll get into it on another day, what's binding and what's not on who, but appellate district, division 2, so that's where the case is coming from. So first thing, I want to know, is it certified for publication? What court is this coming from? Who are the parties? I'm just going to look at this and say, okay, so this is EHM Productions, probably some kind of production company, I don't know, versus Starline Tours of Hollywood. That's probably some kind of touring company, so not quite sure what it has to do with. You can see the case number over here, not really important. And then Los Angeles County Superior Court case. That's probably the case from the case number from the lower court. So again, in law school, not very important. Nobody's going to ask that. So then once I see that, I'll typically start right here at the top and just see if there's anything going on. This just tells me it's an appeal from a judgment of the Superior Court of Los Angeles. Okay, great, I already knew that. And here, this can be important, is the judge. So I'll look this up right here. Michael J. Raphael is the judge. I may want to know, well, who is he? Who appointed him? How did he become a judge? And so I've already done the research here, but you just Google it. And I do a quick thing and I go, oh, what's this? Governor appoints 6 to Los Angeles County Superior Court. This was in 2011. So I know that this is a younger judge, as far as judges are concerned, been on the bench. I don't know what this decision date was on here. It says filed in 2018. So the judge has really only been on the bench 6 or 7 years. So that's important to know. It could be a newer judge, and some judges have different levels of experience than others. Just something to know. It takes you 2 seconds to look it up. But also what I think is important is here you can see that this judge was appointed by Governor Edmund G. Brown Jr. Now, politics are not supposed to play into legal decisions, but I think anybody that follows the news and really knows things says you can't really separate your biases. That's your job. Your job as a judge is to be completely 100% neutral, to have the blindfold on, the Lady of Justice blindfold. But, again, you can't really divorce all your personal feelings about the way life should be or the way society should be. So it's sometimes good for me to know essentially who appointed them. It's not that they owe them any favors or anything, but it could indicate some things, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Leave it at that. So back to that, so you know the judge. Once I have that information, I don't like to skip any time. I like to go right to find out what was the holding. The holding is the decision in the case, and I want to get right down to it. I want to know what's the holding, and that's at the bottom of the case. So I will always start by scrolling all the way down to the bottom. Okay, this was certified for publication, not important. Here's some cases that were cited. This may be important, footnote 7. And by the way, if you're in law school, don't overdo it on the footnotes. You can just get buried and lost in the abyss. But there are times when the footnotes, when a professor will ask, believe it or not, about the footnote and a certain case that's cited. But again, for me, I just wouldn't waste too much time on it. Unfortunately, law school's fast paced and you don't have a lot of time for all this. So I go down and I try to find out what the decision is, because then I can go back and read the facts and I can find out, I can follow the rationale better. Because sometimes what judges do is they talk about this, well, if this, then this, but if that, then that, but if this, then this, well, there's case law on that, and if that, and so sometimes there can be a lot of seesaw back and forth. I want to know what the ultimate decision was. So, so you'll look through the case here, and here what I can tell already is that this judge wrote a great opinion, because it just tells you, number 3, principles of waiver and estoppel do not preclude confirmation of the cost award. So I don't even know anything about this case. I've not read it, trust me, but it has something to do with the cost award, and I'm not even sure what that legal principle is. So, but at least I know what it is. The judge is laying it out for you, but I wouldn't waste too much time on that. Okay, and then I'm going to go to what's number 2. And this is a great opinion when you have a judge that writes it this way. Number 2, appellant has failed to show that one final judgment rule precludes confirmation of the cost award. So again, we're talking about the cost award. So again, it's helping me clue in. So when I'm reading the case, I know what I'm looking for. Something dealing with the one final judgment rule may be part of this case. So I cruise on up here and I'm looking for, okay, so, and that's about it. So those were the 2 issues. As you can see, probably those are the 2 issues in the case. So now I already sort of know the case, what type it is. I know it's not a trial court case. I know it's not a motion for summary judgment. I know it's an appeal. I know who the judge is. I kind of know the 2 main issues in the case. And here's what you can do. You can flag these, because I already know this is an issue. And I can flag that and right-click. Now, I have a Mac. I'm a big believer in Macs. I absolutely love the Mac. I loved it more when Steve Jobs was alive, but I love the Mac. And I got this super simple highlighter for my Chrome browser. I use the Chrome browser. But you can highlight. So you can basically, I thought you could highlight here. So, so you can do that, and you can right-click, super simple highlighter. And so say you do purple, okay, well, it's not working today. But anyway, you can use your highlighter to highlight this, and you can print it out so you have this thing all printable. So, but anyway, let's skip on from that. So the next thing I do is I go back to the top from there, okay, because I already know now I got to get back to the facts. Now here's kind of the facts right here. Here's what I love about a Mac, by the way. If you want to get fancy and you want to walk away and, go do some pull-ups while you're listening, highlight this on your Mac. You can go right-click and you can go speech. This is what I also do.
Starline Tour of Hollywood Incorporated Appellant appeals from a judgment confirming an arbitration
Not bad.
award.
So they're basically reading it for you, which is pretty cool.
MEDIATION Productions Incorporated, doing business as TMZ.
But we're not going to go too much into that. So, but again, you get your facts, and then usually what I do from there, I got my facts, I'll diagram out my facts. You can highlight the facts, and again, I don't know why my highlighter's not working today. I'll have to look into that. But you can highlight your facts. It could be the document could be preventing me from highlighting this, which is what happens sometimes. But so you get through, you get your facts. Then I go looking for the clump of case law. Okay, you notice how you don't see any case law here. I don't see any case law, no case law, no case law. Okay, here's something about money. I always like to see the money things. Money's always important, but I don't spend too much time on it. Discussion. Now I'm getting little clumps of case law. Here's the standard of review. That's not important because I know the standard of review, but you get down here and you can see things down here. Like here's what I call the inevitable clump of case law. Okay, you see how we got 1 case, 2 case, 3 case. To me, that usually indicates what's important. That may indicate what the rule of law is coming out of the case. So this is what I want to be focusing on. Once a petition to confirm an award is filed, the Superior Court must select one of only 4 courses of action: confirm the award, correct and confirm it, vacate or dismiss it. It is the general rule that with narrow exceptions, an arbitrator's decision cannot be reviewed. So you're getting some great case law here. Now, as you notice in this case, there could be multiple cases, there could be multiple issues, but this is certainly something that is ripe to be brought up by the law professor in your class. What can you tell me about an arbitrator's power, the power of an arbitrator? So these are kind of some things. Again, you can highlight it in a different color, go to your super simple highlighter, go green on that issue. And so you basically do your issue in one color, your facts in another color, the rule of law in another color, and analysis in another color, and you basically print it out and you've got it ready. I mean, you're ready just like that to basically stand up and speak or give your opinion. So you're ready, you're prepared in case something comes up. But tip, don't highlight everything. I've seen people do this. I actually remember vividly one person in law school, and I remember looking over at her book, and like every case, everything was highlighted, and it was really overwhelming. I mean, I was just kind of like, you can't, everything's not relevant. You want to just distill it down into the relevant little pieces, call it a day. But so that's kind of my approach on how I review cases. And again, even once you're a lawyer, you still got to review cases. You still got to brief them, know what they are, compare them and contrast them with other cases. So that's a quick and dirty way it's not dirty, it's clean. It's a nice, clean, organized format for getting your case briefs done and getting to the heart of the issue quick. And once you learn this process, again, it may not work for you. You may have a totally another process. You may like to read from the top and go all the way down. I'm just sharing with you what works for me. So you need to learn what works for you. But I hope that's been helpful for some people. Give it a try. See if you like it. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. But I know starting at the bottom, after you get just some real basic info, starting at the bottom, getting that conclusion, and then going back down makes life a lot easier. Okay, so that's my tip of the day. Hope it's been helpful, and I'll see you at the bar. AttorneySteve.com. Thank you.